Good morning, and welcome to a new episode of Thinking It Through with Tia, where we just spend a little bit of time discussing my viewpoint on different questions that people tend to ask me. If you are newly watching this, thank you for joining. I hope that there is some insight that you can find on my channel. Um, Today, though, is going to be a little bit different than the normal videos because when I sat down to do this video, there was a kind of heavy feeling, and I was led to pick up a deck, and a card just came out without me asking a question. So what I heard was that there was someone that is going to watch this that needed to hear this, so I need to give this at the beginning before we jump into figuring out what our topic is going to be today. So I am going to start off with this message that it really feels like someone needs to hear at this time. So it says, when the world feels like it's coming crashing down around you, take that as an opportunity to find yourself and let go of who you thought you were. Not all storms come to destroy your life. Some come to clear your path. Decide that this crisis will be the turning point for what you've been waiting for. So I hope whoever needed to hear that has an opportunity to receive that message, and I hope it gives you some peace in the midst of whatever it is that you're going through. So with that being said, let's jump into figuring out what topic we're going to talk about on Thinking It Through with Tia. So hopefully it's not heavy because the heaviness just lightened by reading that. So I hope that this is not going to be one that leads to more heaviness because we don't need that. All right. Can you talk about friends that don't seem like real friends? For example, friends that make jokes about you in the midst of your troubles. Now that's a very interesting one. So, yes, I can definitely talk about that, but I think that I would probably view it a little bit differently than saying friends that joke about your troubles or laugh in the midst of the things that you're going through. Probably are not friends, right? So that would probably be the first thing that I would focus on. Maybe evaluate who you call your friends. Sometimes, though, there may be some friends that might laugh and joke around to kind of lighten the mood in the moments that you're struggling through something. But if it feels as though, because what this feels like is the type of friend that celebrates when you're struggling, but does not support when you're not struggling. That's kind of what I believe this question is kind of asking about. So, like I said, first and foremost, evaluate who you call your friends. I would not necessarily say that that is a friend, right? And, or let me not say it that way. That is not friendship behavior, right? Doesn't mean that they're not necessarily a friend, because sometimes the reason that they're the way that they are could be something going on with them, right? It may not be about you. It may be about something that they have going on with themselves. I don't really like to talk about things like envy, jealousy, and things of that sort, because those are still really all internal issues that people are dealing with involving their ego. But if I had to put it in a lay term, sometimes people can't quite understand how you endure in the midst of the things that you go through, or how you don't fail, crumble, fall apart in the midst of different things. And sometimes it's that they just kind of wish that they had an ability to do what you're doing. But sometimes we're inside of ourselves. We just don't feel like we're ready. We just don't feel like we're capable of taking that step to push forward, to say that I can overcome whatever obstacle is coming my way. And it's just easier for some people to like put their focus on someone else, right? So for a person that would be in a state where they're surrounded by these types of friends, I would encourage you to really get into figuring out, why do you feel that you need to have these types of people around you? Sometimes that's the root. Are you feeling like you need someone else's opinion or perspective to validate you, maybe? Like, do you feel that you're in a state of needing some form of validation from your friends that you would choose to continue to be around these people? Maybe sometimes it's just the person's personality. So let's even look different, right? So maybe the person has a personality that they just don't know how to respond in situations. Have you spoken to your friends about these things? Have you let them know that it doesn't feel comfortable to you, that you don't accept this type of behavior, and then they keep doing it? Because to me, it's a little bit different dependent, because I don't know the whole situation. It's different depending upon where you're at in the scenario, right? So if you've already had a conversation with them to say, hey, I really don't like when you do ... it really makes me feel this way when you ... and they ignore that and continue to do it regardless, then that now becomes an issue about you. Because why are you allowing yourself to be hurt or bothered by what someone else has going on, when you have every available opportunity to separate yourself from that situation? So if you think that you need to have these friendships because maybe you've known them for a long time, they've been in your life, they've helped you in the midst, or we've gone through a lot of things together and I just let it go because time, right? Because that's one of the biggest ones, time. I've known them for so long, we've had this for so long, I just don't want to break what I consider to be a friendship that I've had for so very long, etc. Why? Why becomes the question. Because if you feel as though the behaviors that are being presented from this friend are not things that you would see as friendship, then what are you holding on to? To me, it just feels like you're holding on to presence. You need someone to be around. You think that someone understands you more than other people, or you think that, well, in the midst of hard times, they were there or this, but they also were joking or laughing at your situation. If you were already in a bad situation and interacting with your friends makes that situation feel worse, then that's probably not a friend. Now, please understand, I am not talking about the kind of friends that will tell you the truth about something, right? Like if you're looking for friends that are just going to completely validate you and tell you you're right and you're wrong, but you have a friend that is standing strong and saying, hey, listen, no, why are you doing this to yourself? Why are you allowing these things to happen? Or trying to get you to see the bigger picture of something to help you, because they know that you keep coming to them and what you're coming to them with is some form of hurt that you could stop, because you could separate yourself from whatever that situation is that's hurting you, but you continue to just stay in that situation. Having a friend that is not just telling you what you want to hear, but actually trying to support you is a friend, and that is not someone that is trying to hate on you or be jealous of you, right? So I want to make sure that whatever the root of this particular scenario is, that we have considered all the possible options, and well, not all of the possible options, because there's a multitude of options, but that we've considered multiple possibilities of what could be happening here. But only you will know what the issue truly is. Only you will have all of the instances where this has occurred. But I will tell you that if you find yourself, right? This is something that I had to realize for myself. If you find yourself sitting and thinking about these kind of friendships and whether they're friendships or not, if you find yourself looking or seeking advice about whether these types of friends are good friends or not, you kind of already know your answer. Generally, when you have a good, valid friendship, you don't have to question it. You don't technically have to, or tend to have to question the loyalty of your friends or the dynamic of your friend relationship. So if you're presented with a situation that is prompting you to even have to ask these kind of questions, I would guess that you're not in a friendship type of situation. But it's up for you to decide. So that's all that I can really answer about this question, because I don't know more details about it to be able to better describe it. But that's how I would look at it. I would look inside and figure out, why am I questioning things I already know, right? Clearly, I probably have enough validation from experiences or examples to tell me that this is probably not the type of situation I want to be in. So why am I still trying to find ways to be in it, would be the next thing that I could ask. So I hope that you find some form of resolve in your friendships. I hope that you bring in new people that are better aligned with you. I hope that you find the healing within yourself that allows you to value yourself enough to say that I don't have to settle for friendships that hurt. I could be a friend to myself, right? Being a friend to yourself automatically cuts off friendships that hurt. Okay? So, thank you for asking. I hope that I've answered your question. Feel free to like, comment, share, subscribe. I would love to hear other people's opinions about this particular question. How would you view it? How would you determine what's the best thing to do? This could be something that could be very helpful for someone who clearly is in need of an answer for this. So thank you for joining me. Until next week, as we address a new question, I thank you so very much for continuing this journey with me. I wish you a magnificent Friday and a great next week.